Alright, so it's the 8th of October 2017 and I'm standing here on the Waterfront Trail at the western end of Ajax. In this video I'm going to ride from where we are right here, heading in the east direction along the Waterfront Trail until we get to the border of Whitby right here. For this journey I'm going to be using my long wheelbase Iowa Linear Recumbent Bike with my camera mounted here at the front, and I'm going to be trying a little bit different position of the mount, and hopefully that works out. Alright, so continuing on the east direction, this is actually the third video that I'm filming today. Today I'm riding from where I live in the annex of downtown Toronto, and I'm riding from here going in the east direction to Whitby, which is where I grew up and where my family still lives. This weekend is a long weekend. Today is a Sunday of the long weekend, so tomorrow is a holiday. And this is the Canadian Thanksgiving long weekend, which happens about a month later than, or about a month earlier than American Thanksgiving. And I come out to Whitby quite regularly to visit my family. Thanks. And usually when I do, I normally will take the GO train, which is a commuter train, which runs along pretty much along the same route that I'm taking right now. Other cyclist back there was warning me about that sand. So it's about a 65-kilometer ride, door to door. And I will normally take the GO train to get there. I'll take my bike on the GO train and I'll ride, you know, the extra 5 or 6 kilometers on either end to get to the station with my bike. But earlier this summer I decided it was worth trying to ride my bike. Now that I have a bike that I'm comfortable riding for long distances. And I really enjoyed that ride, so I decided to do it again this weekend. And the fact that the weather is so nice today is also really favorable. It's about 20 or 21 Celsius today, which is unseasonably warm for a Thanksgiving long weekend in Toronto area. It's also helping me today on my commute, or my ride in the east direction, that there's a strong west wind behind me, which is pushing me there. That's not something that you can always count on having, but it certainly is nice when you do have it. So there's some kind of a race going on over there on our left. Thank you. It's somewhat cloudy and overcast today, but still fairly bright out. I usually try and make these videos on sunny days if possible, but today happens to be the day that I'm doing this ride, so it was either make these videos today or don't make them at all, because likely will be a while before I'm riding to Whitby again. Of all the sections of the waterfront trail between Whitby and Toronto, I'd say that Ajax is by far my favorite. For whatever reason, the way that Ajax was developed, there were no houses that were built or no land that was owned privately right along the waterfront down here. So it meant that when they developed their waterfront trail, they could make it continuous all the way along. Whereas back in Pickering, unfortunately, it's not quite like that. There's lots of sections where the waterfront is privately owned, and the waterfront trail has to veer quite a ways off the waterfront. And you usually end up riding on neighborhood streets, which is not too bad, but it's just nothing quite like a multi-use trail like this that's so long and continuous and nice to ride on. So hopefully the place where I mounted my camera on the bike here is less shaky than the last place I had it. I noticed it as I was going on bumpy roads or bumpy paths earlier today. The camera was kind of vibrating. So I put it in a different position, but I think that I'm concerned that with it being a little bit further back like that, that the gold part of the frame over on the left-hand side may be obstructing the view a little bit. With the way that my camera is set up, or with the type of camera I have no way of reviewing that until I get to my, until I plug the camera into something. So, but if that is the consequence, then I think it might be still worth it, because having a shaky camera is really hard to watch too. Hopefully as I'm riding along as well, you're able to see my speed and heart rate. Probably going pretty fast, given that I have the wind right behind me pushing me to where I'm going. The trail is relatively quiet this morning. On a hot summer day, when it's sunny out, I wouldn't expect that. You'd expect that it would be really packed with people and other bikes and people walking their dogs and rollerblading, and well, you do see all those things, but not in huge volumes. We're just going past, on the left-hand side, a water treatment plant for the city of Ajax. And when I was a kid, I actually got a tour of that plant one weekend with my dad. They have a weekend where public works buildings are open to the public to go in and explore and learn about those plants. Wow. So usually that trail would have continued going over there on the right-hand side. But when I rode here earlier this year, I noticed that it was closed, and they said we had to go around this way. And where I'm riding right now used to just be a grassy field, and I assumed that closure was temporary due to the high water levels that we were experiencing this year. But it looks like they have permanently put a detour around that, and they've now paved it. So that's a huge improvement from the last time that I came through there. Good job, City of Ajax. Lots of little bugs flying in the air. I have to try and keep my mouth closed, because when I was filming my last video, which was of the Pickering Waterfront Trail, I was in mid-sentence and a bug flew right into my mouth, and I think I swallowed it. Which is never very much fun. We're just flying along here. The wind is really pushing me. Of course, you have to be really alert when you're riding quickly on a trail like this because you are sharing it with lots of other types of vehicles. Excuse me. Gotta be ready to come to a complete stop if needed because, you know, parents are out with their children and their dogs and things, and they can be somewhat unpredictable. Very comfortable cycling weather today. I'm wearing my shorts and breathable t-shirt. Just make sure we didn't get any water on the lens from that splash. No, we're still good. The worst thing is getting water droplets on the camera lens, because usually you don't realize it until you're looking at the video footage later. And as you're watching it, you're just thinking, oh, I wish I could just wipe that thing off, but at that point there's nothing you can do. You gotta just live with that water on the lens. You can see some leaves have already started falling in the autumn or the fall. The leaves on a lot of trees will change colors, change to yellow or red or orange or brown, and then they fall. And then for the winter, the trees have no leaves on them until they start all over again in the spring. Just gonna get past these people. I was kind of expecting we'd have a later fall this year, given how warm it's been and how much rain there's been. Because there hasn't been a whole lot of rain lately. But yeah, I guess the temperature, you know. I feel like the trees would think it was still August with these warm temperatures, but I guess they're smarter than they look. The sign back there said Carruthers Marsh Pavilion. I've ridden this, these sections of Waterfront Trail a fair number of times, but I don't intimately know these areas. But I'm doing my best to describe what I'm seeing for the benefit of those following along at home. If you're not familiar with my YouTube channel, I make a variety of different videos about, well, a lot of them focused around bicycling. And I made a fair number of these bicycle riding videos in different parts of the world, including some international cities like Amsterdam and New York City, Chicago. Of course, lots from the Toronto area, which is my home. And pretty shortly, I'm hoping to make videos in another Canadian city that I've never ridden in before. But I won't give too much away about that. So stay tuned to my channel. And we're getting pretty close to the end of the Ajax Waterfront Trail. Section here is quite quiet today. Really nice for riding quickly along. And we're now on the only part of the Ajax Waterfront Trail that's not a separated pathway. This is just a residential street. And we're just at the very, very end of it. So this road we're coming up to is Lakeridge Rd, which is the border between the city of Ajax and the town of Whitby, which is where I'll be riding next. But this concludes my bike ride video of the Waterfront Trail in Ajax. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment below and let me know what you thought. And thanks for watching.